For those of you who don't know me, my name is Valentina. I love a really nice, crisp, cold Coke Zero. So good, especially once it's been marinated in the fridge for a couple of hours or a few days, even better. I love being competitive, especially in sport-related things. I thank my brother Oliver for that. Thanks, Ollie. And one of my superficial goals right now is to be able to do a chin-up or a pull-up by the time I'm 40. So you guys can keep me accountable and check up on me every week and see how I'm doing. It's not going that well right now. Anyways, or some of you might also know me as the lady that sometimes sings at the front and her twin girls come up and follow her with a fake microphone. So here they are. Thanks to Anna Salent Photography. Beautiful photo. Guys, if you want your photos taken, she's amazing. Family photos. So yeah, I've got Olympia and Millie, the girls, which are 3, and my oldest son Milo, 7, and he's literally the best big brother in the world. So yeah, he's amazing. And Michael, smoke show of a husband, back there, thank you for keeping the girls settled. Hopefully they don't come up and make me even more nervous. And also I forgot my dog Obi. So we got Obi before I was pregnant, and I loved him so much. Like I thought, how could I love a baby more than I love Obi? And then I had Milo, and then it all changed. He's at the bottom of the food chain. I don't think I've held him like that for ages. I feel really bad. Look, it is what it is. And for context, I'm also a stay-at-home mum at the moment. And at this stage of motherhood, I really feel like my main role is just cleaning the kitchen specifically. Like I get up, make breakfast, kind of eat, then I clean the kitchen, and then by the time the girls are done eating, it's time for lunch, so I have to start preparing lunch. And then clean the kitchen for lunch, like after lunch, and then like Michael and Milo coming home, so I have to make dinner, and then I clean the kitchen again. So yeah, I'm always cleaning, like all the time. And then in between that, I'm trying to teach the girls how to potty train. And they love to run away from me, so it's kind of hard. I'm also answering all these questions, wiping their faces, like addressing little mental breakdowns they're having, and also cleaning some more. And you might think, Val, like, why are you cleaning so much? Like, you don't need to clean. Like, you don't need to clean that much. And I tell you, yes, I do. I grew up in an ethnic household, and it's embedded in my DNA. So, Mum, thank you for that. Anyways, after all of this, at the end of the day, I look around and I'm like, wow, it looks like I've done absolutely nothing. Like, the house looks exactly the same as when Michael and Milo left for school and work. And before I had kids, I think I was a bit delusional. I thought that my life was going to be so easy. Like, I was going to go to brunch with my mum friends, my cousins, and all our kids would sit down and play by themselves with their little activities, and we'd be able to talk. But that's not the case, is it? It's like lucky if we make it out of the group chat, or if we even get a second or like a couple of minutes without being interrupted. Yeah, so fast forward to my life now. It's just filled with miscellaneous and ad hoc tasks. And at the same time, I'm like living the same day over and over again. And when people ask me, hey, Val, how was your week? I just say, yeah, my week was good. But really, guys, I don't actually remember what I've done during the week. And I'm just saying, yeah, good. But everything's just a blur. Everything's just a complete blur. And I think that's why sometimes as mum, we feel like we're not really in the picture. Everyone else has like a specific role when they go off to work. But as mums, our roles are constantly changing. So I'm the chauffeur, I'm the cleaner, I'm the chef, I'm the hairdresser, the appointment setter, the nurse, the organizer, and the funnest one, the jester. Like we're doing all these things behind the scene, but we're not really seen in it. And like I said, I feel like I spend a lot of my time just cleaning my house. And at the end of the day, it looks like nothing's done. And all the work that I've done during the day looks like I actually never did it. So yeah, as mums, we might take a look quickly, like when we take a look quickly, it looks like we're not in the picture. But what if the issue isn't that we're not in the picture, but we're actually already in it? So I was doing the onboarding process to do some casual work, and it asked me to provide a picture of me, like a recent picture. So I went on my phone and I couldn't find one, but I could find one of like Michael and the kids, and surprisingly of Obi as well, my dog. That's because as a mum, I'm always behind the picture. I'm taking the photos. And yeah, we're not really in the picture as mums. At Big Camp, I was having a chat with Monica on one of the days before we went on a run. I know, crazy what we were doing. And I was trying to be honest of how I was feeling. I was like, I'm always so tired. Like, what's this about? Like, what am I working towards? I'm living the same day, like, over and over again. Does anyone actually see what I do? Like, I'm tired of looking after my kids. Like, it seems like such a simple task. Like, everyone else does it. Like, why am I struggling so much? And then after I say that, I'm almost like immediately regretting, or like I feel guilty for even saying that. Because I love them. I love my children so much. I love my family. But I feel guilty also because I remember thinking, I'm the one that prayed for these kids. Like, I prayed to God. Before we had kids, I prayed, God, please give me children. Give me healthy children. And that brings me back to a mother in the Bible, Hannah. So Hannah longed to be a mother. She prayed, she wept, she poured her heart out to God. And God answered her prayer. He gave her a son. And a lot of the times I would just stop and think, oh yeah, she lived happily ever after, right? But we also forget that she had to raise her son. She had to raise Samuel. And she still had those sleepless nights, that responsibility, that surrender. Everything didn't just become easy for her once she had the baby that she prayed for. And I really see myself in that because, like I said, I pray the same prayers. I've asked God for my children. And yet, getting emotional. And yet there's days that's really hard. Sorry. It's really hard and it gets exhausting. I don't want to, does anyone see how much I'm carrying? So I feel really silly crying, but I'm just trying to be honest. But what I love about Hannah, guys, is that she didn't pretend. She poured her heart out to the Lord. She brought her raw emotion. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, 1 second. Thank you. Okay, keep it together. She was really honest to the Lord. She brought out her raw emotion. And I think that's like an invitation for all of us too. Like, not to hide how tired we are. Not to feel guilty for needing the strength. But to bring this all to God, to bring it to Him, to the Lord. God, I'm really sweaty, sorry. So even when others didn't understand Hannah, God saw her. He saw her in the waiting, in her tears. He saw her in the moments when she felt really misunderstood. And I think that Hannah wasn't actually outside of God's story. Until everything just worked out, she was already in it. And I think that's the same for us. Like, we can feel like we're not really in it because we're tired. Because no one's clapping. Because no one's actually taking a picture of us in those moments. But maybe being in the picture was never about actually having it all together. Maybe it's about recognizing that God already placed us there. He placed us there on the hard days, On the exhausting days, even on the days when we feel like we can barely hold it together. And like I said, Hannah didn't hide her struggle. She poured it out to the Lord. And I think we can really shift our mindset. Well, I'm trying to shift my mindset. And think more, not to think, sorry, I shouldn't feel this way. I should just be grateful. I prayed to God. He gave me what I wanted. Like, I should just be grateful, right? But instead think, God, I'm tired. I need your strength. Isaiah 40:29 tells us, He gives strength to the weary. Not when we stepped out and freed ourselves from our responsibilities, but He gives us strength right there, right in that moment, in the storm. And I've come to realize as well that we as mums, we're never actually missing from the picture, because right now, as mums, this is my ministry. We're raising our children for God's kingdom. We're stewarding our homes, we're shaping habits, we're shaping hearts, we're shaping the atmosphere that our children actually grow up in. And we're supporting our families as well, supporting our husbands that go off to work, as spiritual leaders of our homes, as a high priests, in the role that God has given them. And sometimes that can really feel ordinary or even invisible. But in God's eyes, it's not small, it's actually kingdom work. Sorry. Got a runny nose now. So when I think about being in the picture, I realise it's not about being seen in photos. It's about realising that we've been placed in something really sacred. Just like Hannah, who didn't always seem, or she didn't think maybe that her prayers would produce anything in that moment, we didn't always see the impact that we're building day by day. And there's this verse in the Bible, in Psalms 37:4, that says, "Delight yourself in the Lord and He will give you the desires of your heart." And growing up, I used to think, great, Jesus loves me, I love Him. I'm going to ask for stuff and He's going to give me what I want in my heart, right? No, that's too basic, right? I realized and I interpret it now as something else. So now it's more like He will place those desires in your heart. So God placed the desire in my heart to have children in the first place, which is pretty amazing. So He gave me that desire for children. And just like Hannah, that longing to be a mum, that deep desire, I don't think it came from anywhere. I think that God placed that in her heart. And now if God placed that desire in our hearts to have kids, or in my heart to have kids, to have children, then He hasn't let us down now that we're living it. So on the days when we're tired, when we're exhausted, when we feel stretched to human capacity, I'm trying to remind myself that the same God that gave me that desire for my children, the same God who is the same God who will give me strength to raise them. I just need to surrender and bring it all to Him. Because God doesn't just give us what we want, He shapes our hearts and then sustains us when He's called us into it. So you and I, we prayed for these children. God didn't just give them to you, He placed you right in their story. You're not missing from the picture, you're always in it.